Astrology. Today, we are going to talk about the diseases that happen due to planets. But before that, thanks a lot for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your suggestions and comments there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel till yet, please do. And remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates as soon as the videos and the audios are released. So, our topic today in medical astrology is the diseases that happen due to planets. Today, we are taking up Saturn as the main planet. Why are we taking up on Saturn today? First and foremost, Saturn is supposed to give us pain. It's supposed to give us sufferings in life. Body pains and body sufferings make a major issue in our life because that is how we feel a lot of things. Secondly, Saturn is said to be the Badhaka of the Kal Purush only. So when one's body is diseased and there's a Saturn transit which is not favorable, and then there is a Saturn Dasha, Antar Dasha, Pratyantar Dasha working in our chart, then Saturn during those times will make sure that it takes a longer period for us to recover. Thirdly, Saturn is the Karmakaraka. We all tend to make certain mistakes in life, and paying through body pains and sufferings is one of the ways Saturn works its karmas out in our life. So on that note, we will start with Saturn in medical astrology. However, first, knowing the body parts is good because then we have a fair idea where Saturn is sitting, where Saturn is aspecting, what results it can give us. So Aries talks about our head, or the first house also talks about our head. Consequently, the face is talked about by Taurus in the second house. The third house and Gemini rule over our arms and respiratory canal, respiratory system. The chest is ruled by the fourth house in Cancer. The fifth house is shows belly and heart, and as does Leo sign. The sign of Virgo, along with the sixth house, talks about our small intestines, the intestines that take food all over the body and absorb food to be passed to all over the body. The private parts are shown by the seventh house and the sign of Libra, whereas Scorpio and the eighth house show scrotum. Libra also shows our navel area. Libra also shows our kidneys and our all those factors where we see excretion can also be termed with the Scorpio sign. The hip and the thigh fall in the region of Sagittarius, and also the ninth house, where as we see the knees from the 10th house and the sign of Capricorn. The legs can be seen from Aquarius in the 11th house, whereas the 12th house and Pisces talk about our feet. So what are the diseases that Saturn can give us? Saturn can give us atrophy. Atrophy is the disease that is caused by the contraction of any particular body part. And we know Saturn talks about contractions. Bone disorders, as per Uttar Kalamrita, is seen by Saturn. Chronic ailments like back pains, all these problems which are which continue on for a person for a long period of time. Your pain in your knees, all these come under chronic diseases, and Saturn is well known to enhance these diseases. Depression, extraction, when your bowel movement is not very clear, we can talk about extraction there. Gangrene, hand and feet disorder because limbs, and we know Saturn rules over the 11th house. So knee pains, discussed earlier. Lethargy, laziness of the mind as well as of the body can both be seen with Saturn. And obstructions, when we are unable to move certain parts of the body, say cold shoulder and all these things form under obstruction. Paralysis, rheumatism, and teeth disorder. When we talk about bones, teeth are a part of bones only. Wounds and vata disorders. Yes, Saturn is a planet. When we go to the traditional Ayurvedic system, Saturn, as we also know, is a gaseous planet. So it's capable of giving us vata disorders. Now, how do we correlate everything? First and foremost, we see the house placement and the sign placement of Saturn. We see the associations of planet. What do we mean by planetary association? Which planet is associated or is sitting with Saturn? Influences. Yes, influences, because an aspect makes a lot of difference. It's very important to understand which planet is aspecting. Now, if Jupiter is aspecting, yes, it might flare the disease for a certain amount of time, but Jupiter, being a benefic, being the Vaidya, will also provide the right kind of remedy or the right doctor to give you an advice at the right time, and so that you recover. However, if it's Mars or Rahu, they can create problems, and this will continue in another video after some time. So when we're looking into the nakshatra placement of the person, is it important? Yes, it's very important, because every nakshatra falls under a certain category of Vat, Pith or Kaph. And if Saturn is sitting there, earlier on I said the Saturn does have a tendency to give long-term problems, diseases to a person. In fact, those diseases, though, can be easily found out, but they will have to be born. They will have to be born, because those diseases, being chronic in nature, may not have a solution to them. For example, in this chart, we see that Saturn is sitting in Uttar Falguni Nakshatra, and Uttar Falguni Nakshatra is typically a Vata Nakshatra. Added Saturn to it, it means that that means there's an increase of Vat, and that disorder can cause a lot of arthritic pain, rheumatism, and intestinal cramps, because that also happens due to Vatas, and all these things can be seen in the lady's chart in her life. We understand what is there, and then we can accordingly give people some suggestions how to modulate their lifestyles, or what kind of things to do to get some relief out of that. Now, we also see that because Saturn in this chart also, with the sign being Gemini, again a Aries sign, and Sun, Mercury and Saturn. Mercury is the Lagna Lord. However, Sun and Saturn are both very strong. With two malefics, it does have a propensity. We can see that the person can have, on one level, very strong administrative abilities and teaching abilities. But when we talk about medical astrology, it's important to see things as a Krur Graha or a Samya Graha. That means either a cruel planet or a planet capable of giving you some favor. In this chart, we know that with two Krur Grahas, Mercury is not capable of providing it with a lot of solid support. Hence, this Saturn can give long-term diseases or perpetual irritation to a person. All these things are important to understand what kind of diseases can happen. The person can have frozen shoulder or inflammation of the shoulders, because you have the Sun and the Saturn both sitting in the sign of Gemini. The person can be suffering from headaches or inflammation in the eyes also, because of a presence of Sun, a fiery planet also. As I told you, we will be taking up combinations at a later date. We can also look into the chart of Vajpayee ji with the Libra Lagna, where Saturn aspects his 10th house, with Rahu being present there. He was the first well-known person to go in for a knee replacement. Malefic in the 10th house, aspected by a very strong malefic Saturn in the on the 10th house. So he went in for a knee replacement. We can see all that and much more with planets when we try to see things from a medical point of view. Till we meet with you again, stay safe. And do write into us how you found this.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.